More new music coming your way from Charlie Zero in episode 45 of Fun Music. Go ahead, Charlie.
Okay. Let me sync you guys into the matrix. Here we go. And here we go. Okay, so white patterns. The album Regurgitorium came out in 2022. These guys are from the UK. They're an experimental noise rock and post-punk. What I could say about this band is really, really mind-blowing. A few spoken words here and there. So this band wrote this. It's very short about the album. Regurgitorium was haphazardly constructed with the sole goal of distressing and alienating their remaining friends and family. The trio have come together to deliver angular drums, discordant bass, and harrowing vocals accompanied by the themes of existential paradoxes and day-to-day despair. The result being something best described as not suitable. End. So, and for those who are obviously Don or Fred, if you guys are for our fans of Swans and Primus. So that's what they described it, their album, and I will play you a little snippet. Let's do this one right here. Batches.
That bass is very Primus.
Hey, so a really great ride from this band as I was listening to them, and I found them by random. I'm glad I did. Um, I got goosebumps at times because of the voice, and then a few spoken words. There are a lot of changes in the whole album. It's very unpredictable because they come in from one thing to the next. But yeah, very, very good stuff from this band. I hope they continue on as White Patterns because this is just their first debut album. I would love to see more of them. And yeah, they this album and the band are available on Bandcamp, Spotify, and YouTube. So next one. How do I get this?
It might be fun. Just try to close that one window and see if we can see the next window.
I know I'm trying to. Oh, there it is. There it is. I'm trying to lift it up. How do you lift this? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Oh, sorry. This.
Try closing the one window for regurgitorium. See what
Okay.
happens.
Okay. I'm trying to. Oh, I'm trying to close it here.
Can you see the?
I'm trying to see it, but it keeps. Okay. Let's try
It's
this.
shifting on you.
Yeah. There it is. There it is. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Next one. Oval. Dunk. The album. And came out in 1998. He's from Germany. What this was an experience. I'm going to read you a snippet of this. Dunk is beautiful, surprisingly warm at times, and alluring enough to give the impression of near ambient music. but there are elements of dissonance or harshness in every track that seem jarring or annoying if you like to listen to that, if you like to listen in that way. Pay closer attention to them, and you can hear that they actually do make the music more interesting, and that the tracks couldn't really work without them. Still, the soothing and sounds and repetitions will make you want to switch to ambient listening again. The entire album is like that, rubbing the listener one way and the other at the same time, hot and cold, always in the state of disequilibrium. Really good work on textures, by the way. And this is from a review on the rate my music, rateyourmusic.com. Really, really wonderful music here. I will play you from the first track.
Interesting. It says that these are trailblazing glitch masterpieces. Glitch is a genre.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that in years, so that's really cool. Just when you thought it was safe to go outside.
So yeah, they are very glitch. Throughout the album, there are a lot of changes. You hear ambient, and then you hear like slight glitches in the background, and then he elevates it a little bit more, and it's like he goes back and forth, back and forth. I've been following him for quite a while, but going back to this album, it really, really is something special. In terms of glitch, like you say, it's rare to hear that, and it is very rare to hear that nowadays. I know there's a lot of them that still do it, but they always love to mix things up with a bit of other genres. So yeah, check this out for anybody that's a fan of Oval and his music. He has a lot of them on Bandcamp. You could hear it available on Bandcamp, Spotify, and YouTube. All right, next one. Are you guys familiar with Giles Corey? Are you familiar with Giles Corey? It's okay if you're not. Giles Corey, debut, Giles Corey, 2011, all the way from Connecticut. This album is genres is folk, dark folk, and industrial folk music. This was recommended by this other guy who I follow on YouTube. I forget his name. He recommended to me because it has a lot of dark themes in this. The guy he did someone wrote a quick little review from Sputnik Music that writes, for all the changes made to the world around us, there are still innate things that humans will cause us to harm ourselves and to hold ourselves back from our true potential. The best thing about Giles Corey is that it all seems okay almost in spite of itself. That for all Burnett's attempts to make us inhabit his desolate soundscape, goodness shines through in brief flashes, and its light is visible, if only for a moment. So he when he wrote this album, he went through something very bad, depression and ideations. I can't say the other word due to respects for YouTube. But yeah, I'm gonna play you this song that I like, The Blackest Bile. Okay. So I listened to this and I was following on with the lyrics. I gotta say, I got a punch in the stomach. I felt for him. In some ways, I can relate because I think we've all been there in different forms.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it was a lot of it was very emotional, tender, and it was just a very beautiful. I'm glad he got it out of his system, and he also followed up with this in the book. Um, you could find that on Amazon. But yeah, it has a lot of illustrations. So yeah, it's a very, very a heavy listen, but at the same time, there is light at the end of the tunnel. So
Oh,
Those song
check it out.
titles.
What happened?
Look at the song titles. Wow.
I know, I know. So check it out. Empty Churches is one of my also a favorite of mine. So
oh.
really, really beautiful stuff. His way of playing acoustics and doing the soundscapes in the background, very, very it brings a different atmosphere.
It reminds me of the very first Bon Iver album. He recorded it in a cabin.
You got to send me that. Yeah, you got to send me that. But I'll keep that in mind. Okay.
He went through a breakup and then he was sad and everything, and he recorded it. I guess I haven't followed his career, but that first album was kind of emotional and going through his pain.
I can't wait to check that out. I'm gonna keep that in mind. And this other band, all the way, Take Take, if I'm pronouncing that right. The album
Wow.
Shirirushi, if I'm saying that right. 2021, all the way from sorry, all the way from Montreal, Canada. Um, this band's very psychedelic rock, surf rock, and
Yeah.
garage rock alternative. Best summarize this band. They are a seven-piece band. They all play kinds of instruments, flutes, um, fuzzy guitars and rhythm sections to create a sound reminiscent of the 1960s, 70s era psychedelic Japanese soundtracks, while remaining undeniably modern and punk. Um, this album has its own identity. It's very, very beautiful. Um, their changes and progression in music is we should have more bands like this. I definitely want to see more bands like this. So I'm gonna play this track. Um, yeah, this album I had quite an experience with them. I saw them live recently. They performed on Audio Tree on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Very, very beautiful. Overall, the changes that they do, I love their fashion, style that they dress. Because the singer, she speaks a little English, but mostly the guitarist, he mostly does more of the talking. But she does the whole band's costumes and
Is she the lead vocalist?
yeah, she's a lead vocalist. She
Oh,
she speaks a little English, but they all mostly speak Japanese.
oh,
And yeah, they're an incredible, incredible band. I would love to see them more in the future continue putting out more records. They're very eclectic. The whole band members are all each in their own domain with their instruments, the way they infuse everything together. It's just so perfect and
Oh,
beautiful and just colorful. Colorful. That's what I love about bands like this. So yeah, so this this album and they only have 2 albums, so you can find them on Bandcamp, Spotify, and YouTube.
wow.
Last one, News Corp. I'm sorry, News Corp. Corp, also known as Cat System Corp. Now, the album News at 11 came out in 2016 on September of 2016, and this is paying a tribute to the victims of 9/11. So what I can tell you about this album is, as he writes it, it has samples of smooth jazz songs and experts from TV, talk shows, and commercials as a tribute to the victims of the September 9/11 attacks. Inspired by a vaporwave mix featuring a picture of the, can't say that. At 11, News at 11 is a portrayal of a parallel universe where it never happened. Initially intended to be a Weather Channel theme release, the album was produced over the course of 9 months. So my experience, as I read that, I go, okay, let me immerse myself. As I finished within the hour of listening to the album, it does take you to that parallel universe where imagine if it never happened. So the music itself is putting you in a complete denial stage mindset. So for that hour, you're like, okay, but wait a minute, this is happening. Oh, wait, it's not. Oh, okay. The jazz is putting you in that state, metaphorically speaking. So I'm going to play you the first one. Good Morning, America.
Good morning, America. I'm Charles Gibson.
I'm Diane Sawyer, and it's Tuesday, September.
Okay,
Oh.
so yeah, there's been a whole discussion about this. It's considered critically acclaimed. Um, it did there are a lot of cuts. So as you're listening to the album, you're gonna hear a lot of the jazz, and then you're gonna hear uh cuts of when they're gonna about to say something, and then it cuts to jazz, and then it starts having that crisp commercial audio that you hear in the background that we all grew up, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna be hearing that throughout the whole album. It's just so fascinating, but at the same time a bit eerie because we know what happened,
Yeah.
and that's never gonna leave us. But he's being respectful and sensitive to the whole overall nature of when he made this album. So yeah, so this is for the victims of
Yeah.
9/11 and paying respects, but it's just so different to hear as I immerse myself with this. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, or any other music listener out there of vaporwave and plunderphonics music with sound collage. Yeah, available on Bandcamp, Spotify, and YouTube. And that is my yeah, music for the day.
Wow.
All right, let's
You
continue
know,
this
I
trend.
went to the World Trade Center Museum at the end of September.
Oh, you did?
Oh, geez, it's mind blowing. I mean, they have the original foundations,
Mm-hmm.
some part of it in the buildings at two ends of the building
Mm-hmm.
of the museum, and they have videos of the couple of the terrorists coming through the airport.
Oh man.
that they got later, and oh, it's just mind blowing. What I didn't know is they people wanted to leave Manhattan. There was no way to leave it.
Mhm.
And boats from all over the East Coast came up and took people off the island.
Yeah. No.
It was incredible. Videos and photo, it's very moving. So I imagine that recording must be incredible to listen.
Yeah, trust me, you're gonna have such an experience with it. So I promise you. I promise you.
Yeah.